What's good, YouTube? How we doing? We just got done with Super Bowl Sunday yesterday. I'm going to be uploading a video giving my thoughts on the game and the halftime show and just the day in general. But in this video, I'm going to be covering the game that took place on Saturday night, where Phoenix was coming off a back-to-back and loses to Denver 122-105 in a pretty dominating fashion, as the team just came out super lethargic, short-handed, missing Durant, Beal, and Grayson Allen, which is probably the most necessary piece as far as a supporting role on the team at the moment. And there was just never a point in the game where I'm watching and felt like Phoenix had a chance to win. And they were able to keep it somewhat close early in the first quarter, even taking a short lead. But once Denver takes the lead late in the first to go up about 6 or 7, I believe they do not lose the lead anymore in the rest of the game and essentially dominate the game for 4 quarters. And Phoenix just not talented enough to be able to compete with the roster who is a championship contender. But as you're in the Western Conference, getting these losses hurts devastatingly as so many teams got better and teams continue winning. For example, Golden State just showing out against Chicago on Friday night, come back from 24 down, and that's a team that you're going to be competing with for a play-in spot. So skidding these games is just not acceptable, right? I believe Kevin Durant will be back tomorrow from Memphis. We have to win that game. That is a must win for the team, as we have to stay up and be able to compete. We're trying to get out the play-in, but the play-in seems all but guaranteed at this point. So just going into the stat lines, none of the starting lineup shot well. Booker 8 for 19, 24 points. He was 3 for 8 from 3 with 7 rebounds, 3 assists. It's just not enough production for your star. And when none of your teammates are making shots, your assist numbers are going to be on the lower side. But you want to see better from him as a scorer. But I can completely understand when there's no spacing, double teams are consistent. He struggles with double teams at times as a star player, which kind of panics me to be a number one option in the future when need be in situations like now. Looking at other players, Royce O'Neal 3 for 9, just could not find his shot. It was 3 for 8 from 3. Which you will take that, but you want to see him get to the line. As of right now, he's a 3-and-D shooter solely, and you want to see him drive to the rim. We have no big man production at the moment. Nick Richards 5 points, 1 for 4 from the field with 9 rebounds is simply not enough. We need more, as what we used to get him, and having Plumlee as a backup right now, which is not good at all. It just shows the incompetence we went through with this front office over the deadline, not being able to get us any size. Trading away Nurkic being the sole trade of the deadline was just so disappointing and unacceptable. And now they have to deal with this. Um, Ryan Dunn 3 for 7. He was 2 for 5 from 3, so you'd like to see him make a couple, try to get some confidence going into the next upcoming games. But Tyus Jones 2 for 17, probably the worst player on the floor for Phoenix tonight. He was 3 for 8 from 3 with 10 assists and 0 turnovers. So you'd love to see that. He was playing really well as a guard, but as probably the second option on the team today, you need to be able to find his shot. And while he did get 15 points, he shot 17 shots, and that's just terrible production and shows in the score as we were not competitive. Bench production, once again, a Bobo. He had a really nice game, 8 for 17. You want to see him shoot a little bit less, but you will take that as a bench player. Your Bobo's starting to get some minutes now with the injuries, trying to find his confidence, be able to find a place in the rotation, which at this moment I believe he can do so in the future. Also, Iguodala, Budenholzer just does not trust him to be a quality and quality big man right now for the team. But I do believe his size, his youth, length, and athleticism is going to be needed come playoff time. I do think Mason Plumlee is going to have to lead the rotation, which is such a lack of production. 1 for 2, 2 points with 5 rebounds and 3 assists, a steal and a block. So while he was getting a few stats on the stat sheet, his defense is just not good in terms of man-to-man. Jokic was able to play with his food, which he does to pretty much everybody in the league. But the team defense was not enough. 122 points is too many to give up. And without Kevin Durant, by far our best defender, the team is just in a really bad position to win any of these games. Monte Morris, no points, 0 for 5 from the field, just a non-factor. He was just getting some exercise in. and was not really contributing to the team. Colin Gillespie, he was garbage time, man. Damian Lee got legit minutes, as well as Ty Washington, combining for 6 for 15, which you just want to see a little bit better. They're not. They took 7 threes, made 2 of them. I apologize for combining these, as Ty Washington and both Ty Washington and Damian Lee, they were felt about the same in terms of production, and this just comes with the fact that we were down for so long in the game. 20 plus points for a majority of these minutes, and it just felt like we were not competing. Going to Denver stats, Jokic 26 points on 11 for 13 from the field. Apologies. Yeah, 11 for 13 from the field. Perfect at the free throw line. 11 boards and 9 assists. The classic Jokic game, near triple double, and just being able to facilitate the offense. Denver is at their best when Jokic can be that point center that we all know him to be, and be able to easily be able to dish out to his teammates, get good open looks, and knocking them down. Aaron Gordon had a bad shooting night for his standards. 2 for 9, 9 points. 10 boards, 4 assists. I thought he was okay, as he was really great on the defensive end, man to man with our wings. Jamal Murray, 30 points, 12 of 23, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals and a block. He was really great. Obviously, the main scorer for Denver tonight. He took 23 shots, which you don't want to see as a Nuggets fan. Like, you want to be able to see those shots come much easier. But obviously, they were in the lead. He felt much more confident to take them. And this is just the position that we give teams to be. As we give them so much confidence early on in the game, come behind, start off slow. This leads teams to get in a rhythm very quickly. And in the first half, and going into the second, when we're down in a hole, it's just so difficult to climb out of, especially when you do not have the talent needed to be able to do that at a high level. Their bench, Zeke Naji, Hunter Tyson, Spencer Jones. DeAndre Jordan was decent in his minutes, 11 rebounds to DeAndre Jordan in 2025. That is the type of team we are defensively, and in terms of size, because our size is ineffective in terms of just trying to at least be able to conflict the the opposing team's size, as they just dominate us night in and night out for every single team. Jalen Pickett, he was their rookie this year. He's been pretty good as a two-way player, and in his minutes off the bench. I've watched a bit of Denver. They don't play him every single night, but when it's needed, he comes off, and he's going to be an iffy player, a little inconsistent, but he is really good. I watched him out of Penn State in college. Really fun player to watch. And Westbrook was out this game, who has been so good for Denver so far in this season. He's really found himself a role to be that facilitator. Also, while not consistently making bad decisions on the floor, and his shot has come back to him somewhat. He's shooting very well from the field this season, and you love to see that as a player who's up there in age and has gone through so much over the last 5 years. But yeah, in terms of the game, there was just not that much to cover in terms of Phoenix, because we were just constantly down, right? And you could feel that in the broadcasters climbing out. The whole game just felt lackluster in terms of our energy levels. The players just weren't there mentally, the urgency, and we just came out like we didn't even feel we were gonna win going into tip off. That is the type of game we dealt with. And going into our upcoming schedule, I mean, look, Kevin's gonna be back for the Grizzlies, but these games are not easy. Like Memphis tomorrow, Houston, San Antonio, Chicago, Toronto, Memphis again, the Pelicans twice, Minnesota, the Clippers, Denver, Mavericks, Grizzlies, Rockets. We have the toughest schedule in the league from here on out. And these games are just going to be so tough to win. If we want to show that we have any sort of a heartbeat in come playoff time, we got to win a lot of these games. They're going to be super close. We cannot get blown out, and we have to win late. Because that's the type of team we are. We just have no urgency. We do not keep our feet on the gas, and you will almost never see us blow out any team in this basketball league. which so many of the contenders do so well. Like OKC, you just watch them. They dominate each and every team they face. And that is where I want Phoenix to be, and that's where we seen it when this duo came together. But the roster construction has just been porous for the last 2 years, essentially. And pretty much every single move that Phoenix has made, James Jones, Matt Ishbia, has been a complete miss and have worsened the team overall. So we're going to see what comes next, as I'm just not confident. Dark days are ahead. A Kevin Durant trade just seems so likely at this point, which probably should have happened at the deadline. But for the team to have any sort of a resemblance in the standings, before I close out, let's check the standings real quick. I believe it's over here. Yeah. In the Western Conference, we are currently the 10 seed. We have the same record as the Warriors, and at the moment they are playing Milwaukee, and they are currently up by 5 in the third quarter. So they look have a good chance to win that game. Giannis is injured at the moment, and he's going to be out for the next week. So they win this game, they are above us in the standings. And we fall to the 11. And San Antonio is right on their tails. They're going to be coming out quickly. And Dallas, Davis is injured, so that's going to really worsen their team overall. And winning games is going to become a lot more difficult with Kyrie and Klay as the main pieces at the moment. The Clippers, Sacramento, all these teams are really good, and we have to compete. Losing even just 2 games in a row could be detrimental for a long period of time. It can make it so much harder to climb up the standings. Minnesota, Lakers, Rockets, they just keep winning. The Rockets had a skid over the last 10 games, but all these teams in the top 6 are just continuously winning. They're all very hot, and I do not see any of them losing their spot unless one of these 4 teams in the play-in or Golden State have a really good winning streak and able to compete, and you're able to see that visually. So it is just really dangerous right now for the team. My confidence has just been erased from me. I have not felt like super excited for this team over the past month because we've just been constantly in trade talks, trying to get off of pieces that we believe is going to make us better. And we failed at that. So everything that's around this franchise at the moment just seems out of place. And Kevin Durant made a response to the toxic comments saying that they were unfair, which I completely agree with, as these players are very focused on the game, and having your entire locker room based on very small moments over the long term is just completely blasphemous. But Phoenix, they've done this to themselves. And I can't give any sort of solution at the moment. We have to hope that Bill Booker and Kevin Durant is going to be able to will us out of this thing, as there's not much time. April is coming up very quickly, and so many teams are going to be going up and down the standings, and we have to hope that we are up as a team. But we will see. I will cover tomorrow's game once the game is over, and I'll see you guys then. But otherwise, you guys have a good one. Have a blessed day. Peace out.